Hey guys, today we have Pradum and he is having total 3 years of experience in Java, Spring Boot and microservices. And guys, those who want to keep same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Pradum, how are you?
Hi, Faizan. I am good. How about you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Pradum, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Pradum Dhakad. I am from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. I have completed my BTech from Bhopal, and after 2022, I have joined TCS as a Java developer. I primarily working on core Java, Spring Boot, and RESTful API development. I usually solve production issues, and that's all about me. Thank you.
Okay. And about your recent project?
Currently, I'm working on a data migration project where we are
Okay.
moving our database to a different security system,
Mm-hmm.
security provider.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the difference between SOAP and REST API?
Yeah, a little bit I know about it. REST API is stateless. We do not store the state of the user.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't much worked with SOAP, so I
Okay.
cannot
So you
differentiate much
didn't get
about
a
it.
chance to work on SOAP, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
correct.
a very older framework, I think. It's a protocol that requires XML for message format and can operate over various protocols such as HTTP and SMTP. Okay.
Okay.
Yep, yep. Can you tell me the difference between application context and bean factory?
So application context hold the reference of the um, application container, Wien container, which is
Mm-hmm.
what we called.
Okay. So application context includes all functionality of Bean Factory, but adds more enterprise specific functionality like event propagation, declarative mechanism to create a bean and various ways to look up, right?
Okay.
Do you know the scenarios where Bean Factory can be used and scenarios where application context can be used?
No, I'm not
Okay.
sure about it.
Yeah, let me tell you, Bean Factory is suitable for lightweight applications with minimal Spring features required. Whereas application context is used when a full suite of Spring features, including AOP and web capabilities, is needed.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yep. Hey guys, I want to share something important with you. Actually, Pradum prepared from our interview preparation kit and cracked multiple interviews. We have also referred him to the multiple companies. So let me tell you, this kit has four main parts. First is complete interview preparation material. It is a step-by-step material made by me, expert and MNC's interviews. 99% of the questions asked in interviews are covered in it. Second is two real enterprise client projects. Code and video recorded sessions are there. Third is lifetime chat support. Here you can ask your doubts anytime. Fourth is referral support. Here we help you to get referred to the top MNCs. So basically the material is organized as per your experience level and covers Java, Spring Boot, Spring Security, Spring Data, JPA, microservices, Kafka, Maven, Git coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. You can buy just the complete interview preparation material or the full interview preparation kit with project supports and referrals. I have added the links in the description below. So now moving to our interview. What is a circular dependency issue, Pratham?
Oh, okay. Circular dependency means two classes dependent on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like their bean creation dependents on each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of deadlock situation where both are betting on others bean to be created. That's called circular dependency.
Okay. How can we resolve such circular dependency? Okay.
I think I'm not aware
So let
about
me
it.
tell you, Spring Boot resolves circular dependencies by using setter injections or the lazy annotations, which delays the creation of beans until it is actually needed. Okay, so Pratham, all
Okay.
these questions what I am asking are already present in the kit. So I think you have to look for all the questions. Okay. Moving ahead,
Sure.
can you tell me the difference between component and service annotations and are these interchangeable?
Yes, we can say that are interchangeable. Both
Mhm.
basically used to create the beans. The difference is that only that a service annotation provide an identification to our class that it is a service where we can put the business logics. It
Mm-hmm.
also used in the bean creation itself.
Okay, okay, got it. And what's the difference between JP repository and CRUD repository?
ZPA is a framework which
Mm-hmm.
provides certain methods by default. to
Okay.
handle our database connections like find by ID or
Mm-hmm.
find all.
Mm-hmm.
These kind of methods it will provide. We do not have to manually write SQL queries. While in
Mm-hmm.
the CRUD operations, we have to manually write the SQL queries. And JPA also support JPQL. If we have any kind of complex query to
Okay.
fetch the data, we can just override their inbuilt methods.
How do you achieve logging in Spring Boot?
We have SL4J framework by which we
Okay.
can achieve logging. We have this annotation, and we can directly just call the log.info method to achieve the
Mm-hmm.
loggings.
Okay. What's the default logging mechanism in Spring Boot?
Default log factory. Yeah, I get the
Logback.
logger bean from the log factory, and it is present in class. I
Oh,
think
I
it's
think
in the
logback
util
is the
package.
default one.
Okay, it's a
Yep, yep,
part of
yep,
logback framework. Okay.
yep, yep. But if you want to use log4j or SL4j or other, then you have to switch to log4j. Okay. You
Mhm.
have to exclude the default logback dependency and add log4j to dependencies, right? Okay.
Okay.
What is Spring Profiles and how do you start an application with a certain profile?
We can active the profile using environment variable or
Mm-hmm.
these path variables.
Mm-hmm.
We can just pass it and activate the profile, and we have this override mechanism in the application dot property where we
Mm-hmm.
can just pass spring dot profile is equal
Mm-hmm.
spring profile dot active, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What is the property
Spring.profiles.active.
name? Yeah, spring dot profile dot active, and we can just pass whether we want to active the depth profile or local profile.
Okay, okay. Got it. How do you achieve multiple DB connections in Spring Boot application?
For that, we have to configure multiple data sources. Like
Mm-hmm.
that we do in the configuration, what we called it. I have recently used JDBC template for
Okay,
the
okay.
database connection,
For
and
example, you
that
want to
we have.
include MySQL, you want to include um, MongoDB, then how would you achieve that?
For that, we have to include their dependency.
Okay,
Like if you want to use MySQL, we have to provide its dependency in the pom.xml file.
okay, got it. And also, a multiple database connection in a Spring Boot application can be achieved by configuring multiple data sources and using qualifier annotation to distinguish between them in your repository or service classes. Okay.
Okay.
What's the difference
Mhm.
between qualifier
And
and primary annotation?
uh, qualifier and
Primary annotation.
primary annotation basically mark a bean to be injected first.
Mm-hmm.
If if a dependency, if we have a dependency in our class that will be
Mm-hmm.
injected, so it will look for the beans. If it found two beans and the
Mm-hmm.
first one is annotated with the primary annotation,
Mm-hmm.
then by default Spring will inject that bean only, and this qualifier annotation we use in the variable itself, where we can mention the bean name itself,
Mm-hmm.
so it will inject the bean.
Okay.
So these
What
qualifier
happens
annotation,
if you add primary annotation on the top of two beans, like two primary annotation? Which one would be
it will
qualified?
throw an it will throw in this case it will throw an exception.
No such bean definition exception, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Can you tell me the usage of transactional annotation in our project?
Transactional are basically used to safeguard the transaction within the application. Like we have some methods
Mm-hmm.
I mean that should be executed in a sequence. If
Mm-hmm.
any one of them is failed, the whole transaction should be rolled back. So
Mm-hmm.
this to safeguard this kind of transaction, we use transactional annotations. It
Do
is
you
more
know?
usually.
Okay, okay,
Hmm?
got it. Do you know the details are present in JWT token?
It have headers and a encrypted hash code. Not.
Okay, so basically it contains claims that transmit information between two parties, right? For example,
Okay.
issuer, expiration date, subject, and additional data relevant to the authentication process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you worked with microservice architecture?
Not pretty much.
Not pretty much, but do you aware about microservice architecture?
Yes, I am aware about it.
Can you tell me some disadvantages of using microservices?
Disadvantages of microservices. Over monolithic application, we have to manage multiple applications.
Mm-hmm.
In monolithic application, we have single application to manage, but in microservices, we have to deploy multiple
Mm-hmm.
application and we have to ensure the communication between them. That
Mm-hmm.
we can say it's a disadvantage.
And also service, sorry, and also uh, there will be complexity in managing multiple services, right? Which can be addressed by
Yeah.
implementing automated deployments, monitoring, and scaling
Mm.
strategies further, right? How would you call another service in microservice architecture? How do service communicate with each other?
Okay.
So in microservice architecture, service can be called asynchronously or synchronously. Talking about synchronously, we could use REST APIs. Talking about asynchronously, we could use message brokers like Kafka or service discovery mechanism, right? That allows services to find and communicate with each other, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain a few microservices design patterns that you are aware of? Just tell me the name of design patterns.
Sorry, I'm not aware
You are
about
not
that.
aware. Got it. Since you haven't worked on the microservices, then it is acceptable that you are not aware. It is fine. So microservices design patterns are important. Design patterns are API gateway, circuit breaker, Saga pattern, right? Okay,
Okay.
so let's move to the different topic then. What are the topics you are most familiar with Java 8 that have been introduced in Java 8?
Those are functional interface and stream
Okay.
APIs that are most popular
Which is
features that
faster,
were
traditional
introduced.
loop, traditional for loop or stream?
Streams are quite faster.
In which scenario would you prefer traditional for loops and stream?
I think on the large data set, we use the streams.
Okay. What is a functional interface?
Functional interface basically have only one method.
Hmm.
Interface which have one method, we call it functional interface. That basically mostly used in lambda expressions. Like in
Okay.
the lambda expression, we write the anonymous function. We are
Hmm.
basically overriding the same method which is present in the functional interface.
Got it. Can you tell me the differences in interfaces from Java 7 to Java 8?
I think it includes concrete methods as well. Before Java 8, the functional interfaces, I mean the interfaces will not include the concrete methods, but after Java 8, it start including the concrete methods as well.
Okay. The major differences is Java 8 introduced default and static methods in interfaces, right? That were not there in
Okay.
Java 7. Okay. Why do we use a static method in interface? Why do we need it? And how it is different from default method in interface?
Static methods we can directly call using their interface name or class name.
Okay.
In certain cases, we do not want to expose the implementation of that interface. We just simply use the interface name
Mhm.
to call the static methods.
Among the memories, heap and stack, right? Which is
Hmm.
faster to access.
Heap and stack.
Stack.
So heap basically store the objects, and this stack of memory records the activation records of methods calls.
Mhm.
So I think stack is faster to access,
Okay.
but I'm not pretty sure about it. But that's my assumption that stack is faster.
Hmm. Got it. Yes, you are correct. Stack memory is faster to access than heap because it has direct supports from the CPU with stack pointers. Okay.
Hmm.
Why is string immutable?
String is store kind. String basically stored sensitive informations like
Hmm.
database connection information, passwords, and all this kind of information it holds. That's why by default string is immutable in Java.
Hmm. Got it. Okay. What are the internal implementation of array list and linked list
Uh, Array list
and
and
linked list?
internal implementation like
In collection framework, we
I'm not
have array
getting.
list, linked list, right?
Yes.
So what are their internal implementation? Like how do they work
They
internally?
implement. They implemented the list interface and the iterator interfaces.
Okay. Array list is implemented as a resizable array. Linked list is implemented as a doubly linked list. Okay.
Okay.
In which scenarios is linked list preferred over array list?
Okay. On large data set, linked list is preferred because the order of
To preserve insertion order in a set, we could, sorry, linked list is preferred when frequent add and more operations are needed.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
But for reading operations, I think array list is faster. Can you tell me the internal implementation of Hashmap?
Hashmap basically uses array of bucket
Okay.
to store the key and values.
Mm-hmm.
It calculate the key using their hashing algorithm and
Mm-hmm.
find an index to store the values within the
Okay.
array.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it works. It uses a bucket, array bucket.
Okay. What is collision in Hashmap?
Of uh, while converting the key to a hash code, the hash code may match within the system. So it try to override the same key while storing the data. That's hash collision.
Okay. Moving ahead. Um, what change is implemented in Hashmap from Java 8? Like how it was before Java 8 and how it is after Java 8?
After Java 8 started using the red flag tree,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read much about it, but that's what I
Okay.
know about it. That
Mm-hmm.
it is
Yeah,
started
from
using
Java
that
8,
technology.
Hashmap has been optimized by using tree bins means red black trees instead of linked list in buckets with many elements and improving performance
Mm.
in high collision scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know about tree set?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, explain it like what do you know about tree set?
TreeSet is also a part of collection framework. It implements the set
Mm-hmm.
interface, and it
Okay.
basically do not allow the duplicate. So if we
Mm-hmm.
have some situation where we do not want to store the duplicate element, we
Mm-hmm.
can use the set there, TreeSet,
Okay. Got it.
and it
Mm.
by default is store the data in sorted manner.
How does tree set sort elements when it stores objects and not wrapper classes?
It uses the comparator internally. I think recently I haven't read about it.
Tree set sorts object based on their natural ordering by using the compare to method of the comparable interface.
The comparable interface compared to Meta. Mm.
Okay. Moving ahead. Why is it important to override the hash code method when you override equals? What would be the consequences if we don't?
Sorry, can you come again?
Why is it important to override the hash code method in Hashmap when you override the equals method? Let's say you have overridden the equal methods. Now, why it is important to override the hash code method? If we don't override the hash code but overridden the equal, what would be the consequences?
Basically, both this equals method and the hash code method returns the hash code itself. I'm not aware about it.
Okay, actually, it is important to override hash code when equal is already overridden to maintain the general contract of hash code, which is that equal objects must have equal hash codes. Okay, if two elements have equal, trues in equal methods, like, are you getting my point? If we
Yes,
override the
yes.
equal methods and we have a mandatory to override the hash code, not
Yes,
doing
to preserve
this
the contract.
not doing this so can lead to incorrect behavior in hash based collections like hashmap and hashset, right? Okay,
Okay.
explain about multi-threading. What do you know about multi-threading? If you get a chance to use multi-threading concept in your any project, please explain that as well.
Yeah, sure. Multi-threading is basically used to create multiple threads within the application itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have such tasks which we can do using. It's better for the CPU utilization as well.
Mm-hmm.
We use multi-threading, which
Okay.
makes our application faster.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Recently, I have used executor service, that is multi-threading framework within the Spring Boot
Okay,
itself.
what are the
Yeah.
two ways to implement multi-threading in Java?
There are yeah, two ways. Just first one is to extend the thread class,
Mm-hmm.
and the second way is to implement the runnable interface and override the run methods.
Okay. Since you have worked on executor framework, I just want to know more about on this. Could you please go ahead?
In the executor framework, we do not
Mm-hmm.
have to manually manage creating the threads.
Mm-hmm.
We just need the executor service of a thread
Mm-hmm.
pool, where initially we will define it will store these
Mm-hmm.
many threads, and we can just simply use that threads to execute our task. We can just
Okay.
call the methods within the executor service, like the
Mm.
execute method and the submit method, and we can just pass a runnable and callable object to them, and it will automatically create new thread and do our task parallelly.
Okay. Um, what are some of the design patterns that you are familiar in Java?
I'm familiar this builder pattern and
What
later
is the
one.
builder pattern and in which scenarios is it used in applications?
For builder pattern, we used to build a class of. Uh, I mean, if we have a condition where we have to build a class and we have to ignore some of its properties while initializing it. Like if we have a student class and we have 10 properties, but we want to initialize the object for four properties only initially. Like if a student get admission, initially it
And too
have
many
name.
parameters in constructor, right? Or
Yes.
uh,
To avoid this constructor overriding, we use
okay,
builder
got it.
instead of writing too
How
many
would you
constructors.
make a class immutable?
Class immutable. I'm not aware about
Okay, immutable, you should know. Immutable, uh, like what is immutable? What does immutable mean?
it. Immutable means that cannot be modified.
Okay, okay. So, what in what scenarios we cannot modify? If we declare the fields final, we cannot modify the fields final, right? If we
Yes,
don't
yes.
provide the setters, because through setters we can change the values, right? We cannot modify, right? So
Mhm.
these are some things that we need to do to make a class immutable.
Okay, okay. That way you are asking. I think I thought
Okay.
that we have
And
to
ensure
remove the
also
old
ensure
class.
that methods that modify the state return a new instance instead of modifying the current one. For example, if you are returning an array list or something like that in that class, then make sure to return the copy, not the original one, because maybe in outside world, someone modify the original array list or original collection, right? Just return the copy. So these
Okay.
are three steps we could do.
Mhm.
Okay. Hmm. What does it mean to declare a method with final keyword and a class with the final keyword?
If we declare a class with the final keywords, that means no child class can inherit it. And if we define a method using the final keyword, that
Mhm.
means that a method cannot be overridden.
Okay.
Yeah, that are the use cases of this final keyword at class level and method
What?
level.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Can you explain the solid principles?
Yeah, solid principle stands in the solid principle. The S stands for single responsibility model.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to write a code such a way that it should only the class should only have single responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
and the O stand for open closed principle. Like
Mm-hmm.
a particular class should be open for scalability, open to
Mm-hmm.
scale, and closed for modification.
Mm-hmm.
And L stand for Liskop's substitute principle, like where we can substitute a dependency. If a particular object is not available, where we should have the functionality within the system that we can substitute its
Mm-hmm.
use.
Okay.
And solid and I stand for
Interface segregation.
yeah, interface segregation. Wherever possible, we should segregate the interface, and D stand for
Dependency injection.
yeah, dependency injection. As I mean, we should not manually manage the dependencies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Got it. Have
Just
you used
manage
any one
them.
of them in your real project?
Real project. Yes, we have used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have created separate components for each API call. Like
Hmm.
within our system, we are calling multiple APIs using the HTTP client. For that, we
Mm-hmm.
have created multiple components, and all
Okay.
components have only single responsibility.
Got it.
Yeah,
And
and that is also mm,
have you used dry principle?
which
Dry principle, dry, DRY.
no.
Do not repeat yourself. I mean, we don't have to repeat our code. We can make a common method
I
instead of
think
repeating same method in two different classes. That's a dry principle. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think we haven't used it recently.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay, Pratham. It's done from my end, and yes, it was a wonderful interview.